Just make it clap. Just make it clap.
I was sitting there fucking with the audio levels the whole time as well.
So why weren't you doing your job? Why weren't you looking at the levels?
I was looking at the levels, adjusting them.
I made a mistake. Your job is to save me. I fucked
We've
up,
got it on
guys.
camera.
This is our second episode today. We just did
only 10 past 1.
It's only 10 past 1. Also, we only missed like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's fine.
Anywho,
Just
so
casual conversation anyway.
what's up? Anyway, I'll start how I started. Yo, it's Kane and Jake and Anders in the booth. Little did you know I got nice fake tooth. I spent lots of money on my shiny smile. When I see Anders, ain't seen him for a while. Oh, I lost the rhythm, but I got it right back. Jake's over here and he got a bone crack.
Bars. White boy bars.
White boy
White
bars.
boy bars. That was
White boy
tough to
bars.
say.
We'll say it again.
White boy bars. White boy
I think it's
boys.
just your accent that makes it hard. Look, white boy bars.
White boy boys. White boy bars.
So, just before I forgot to press record, I was saying last time we did a podcast was in Birmingham.
Yeah.
In September, as you
Yeah.
remembered. in
2018.
2018, and you were doing Kylie Golden Cowboy Tour. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you saw it, you'll know that he dressed as a cowboy the whole show.
That was the theme.
Yeah,
of
theme.
The first
You were
half.
giving me like Woody meets Nick Bass.
Ooh.
You know who Woody is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just checking.
Bass,
Yeah.
he hasn't been dancing for a minute.
No, I know, but you
But
had
I'd say
that
Nick
you
Bass.
had that Nick Bass like
Give me Joshua
No,
Smith.
No, I mean
Makes
Woody
Woody.
like no, not Woody the Great. I mean Woody like from Toy Story.
Oh.
Because you're a cowboy.
Oh.
Not Woody the Great. He's an actor now.
Why would you compare me to Woody? That's a random. I like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
because you're a cowboy. So you're Woody and Nick Bass
Yes.
combined.
You know what?
That's a compliment.
You heard it here first.
You like that,
That's
right?
the next
That's the
tattoo.
Yeah, you like that.
I like
That's
that
the
one.
best compliment you've had in a while. Anywho. Anyway, yes, that was the last time I saw you. And you said...
No, that's not the last time I saw
No, that's the last time we podcast,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
And you said, I just want to do a world tour and I want to move back to Denmark and get a white picket fence and live a lovely, normal person
Yeah.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
And obviously, 3 tours later, still fucking here. What's changed? Why didn't you move back home?
I mean,
Booked and blessed?
well, that's for one, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, obviously, I think as a human being, we change all the time. You know, if you choose to. Some people stay the same, and some people. I think the industry and the lifestyle we're in, being a creative people, if you stay the same, you'll be able to create nothing, right? Because if you're the same person you was 4 years ago, then all your how you create choreography or how you dance, how you move is going to be exactly the same, unless you try to evolve. So back then, I think for me, I was in a very like shaky ground in my personal life, and I just thought the safest way to go about this would be to just move back home, where you have like safety net of family and like friends and stuff. Obviously, it's not what I truly wanted, and I think carrying on with that tour, and then that carried on straight into the Little Mix LM5 tour. I think everything just, the universe took over and just guided me in the right direction, away from where I thought I wanted to go. I knew I didn't want to go there. And yeah, now we're here.
Do you think that, like, because you didn't be like, right, you didn't stick to the plan, but did you plan to just stay there, or were you just like, I'm just going to see what happens and then go with it? Do you know what I mean? You know, some people need, like, they need to set a plan. They need to have a path. Like, this is each step of the way.
Yeah.
Like, do you do that?
No. I do like on a day-to-day basis. I have like my daily plan for the day. But when it comes to like life goals or stuff like that, I just chase. I just go for where my goals are in life. So what it is I dream about or what I think about on a day-to-day basis. And in 2018, I think the reason why I was thinking that way was because I moved out of my London place in May 2018 to go on tour with Helene Fisher. And that tour overlapped straight into Kylie. So while I was on the Kylie tour, I had an Airbnb. I didn't have nowhere to live. So living out of a suitcase, it's like you just, you don't know where your life is heading. And then when we, guys, shh. 15
We're
pound an hour.
podcasting here.
Gosh, damn it. And then when we finished Kylie in February 19, I took your fucking room.
Yeah, you did.
So I
The
think
best
that,
room in London.
bro.
The best room in London.
$288 a month, mate. With bills
288 a
included.
month. That's 200, not 2,000. 200.
$288 for a room.
This big.
Small ass room.
This big.
But this big. but
Literally this big, but
the dream cave.
It's
Anyways,
hot.
I think, well,
it's the hottest room
past
ever.
heat wave.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't there, but I could have imagined. But I think then having that base really set me up for like, okay, I'm ready to just stay here and just, keep moving forward and keep achieving all these goals. Because at the end of the day, man, it's I think with this outside pressure being put on you, and you think, well, this, that, and the other, and you should move back home or this, that. Well, I'm in my early 20s, or mid 20s. Why would I do that when I have so much left of my career, my peak? Why wouldn't I, squeeze everything I got and go for every goal? And I'm 29 now, and I still feel like I'm just hitting my peak.
You're only 29.
I'm 29,
That's
yeah.
disgusting. Congrats. You're still
I'll be
young.
29.
Yeah, you're still young.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, I drink my water.
I know. Wow, that's another thing I was going to get onto. Like, not only
And whiskey.
When I think of you, and I talk about you quite a lot actually with people.
I know. I'm always blushing every time I see. Why did Kane tag me in something? What is this?
Yeah, I use you as an example a lot because I feel like I've really got to see, and I don't mean this in like a patronizing or like older than you kind of way, but like I remember meeting you as this like young green dancer who was
Very
just
green.
desperate for any sort of opportunity, and I was already working and quite established. And I remember being like, yo, this kid's dope, but I've never met someone that wants something so much except for me. Like, I saw similarities in us. And I remember being like 23 and I lived in LA and everyone would go out drinking. I'd be like, I don't drink.
No.
Like, it's all about the goal. It's all about the dream. Like, I go to the gym, I drink protein shakes, I eat broccoli. Like, everything was like, I'm an athlete. You know what I mean? And that's how I treated myself. Like, I was an athlete. Like, there was no, as boring as it sounds, like partying. It was like, this is the thing. And when I met you, I was like, yo, he's like me. Like, and I feel like there wasn't many of us that had that mentality in the dance industry because it is a very party lifestyle.
Yeah, it's networking, isn't it?
And it's networking. It's all part of the game. And I remember meeting you and being like, yo, not only does he remind me of me, he just roasted me in like 4 classes. And we did Super Dave's freestyle class. And I remember seeing him freestyle and be like, yo, he just doesn't care. Like, it's just like, it's just
that.
dance. Like, you just danced. And I was like, really like, as people, we connected. As well as dancers.
Yeah.
And I remember you being like, yo, I want to move to London. Should I move to London? And I was like, yes. I was like, you need to message these people, blah, blah, blah. And then Twos, like, I've seen you on, I think, every tour except for the Helen
Fisher.
I can't say her name. But, like, I always come to watch.
Yeah.
Like, and I travel. Because for me, it's like that's my friend. Like, I remember seeing you in the studio where it's like, you've done no jobs. Do you know what I mean? So now when I get to come and watch you, like, roast, other dancers, but get roasted by Anders on stage.
Oh, no.
Like, hey, I love you all dearly, but I don't know. To me, you just have this thing about you, like when you're on stage and you dance, it's not even just about movement, it's about the energy. Like, I can feel that hunger and that drive that you had as a 20-year-old is still there, and you display that on stage. Whereas I feel like in our industry, that dies out quite quick because we're always ups and downs, right?
Yeah.
Like, whereas I feel like every time I see you, you're still on that up. And yo, I'm proud of you, man.
Oh, thank you, broski.
It's dope to see.
Oh man, we go way back.
But that's why I talk about you like a lot, because I'm like, yo, I've seen the graft that you put in, and you still take class, you still train, you know your foundations, like, do you know what I mean? Like, to me, there's no flaw to your game.
Oh, thank you, bro. My ballet game isn't the strongest.
But it doesn't get used as often either, right?
Them double turns.
Yeah, you can get a cute double, but no triples.
Yeah, I'll give you a double on my good side.
So, like, what do you think, besides me reeling off how much I love you, I'm gonna be horrible now.
Thank you so much.
So,
I love you too, bro.
But, like, what do you think contributes to your success? Like, why do you think you've been so successful? What do you see in you that you see other people maybe don't have?
Hard question.
Because I used to look at other people, like, especially when I was, like, really trying to, like, work, and I'd look at everyone and I'd figure out what I'm doing that they're not and how I'm ahead of them. Do you know what I mean? Like,
so I think you can never tell about what other people are doing, and outside of
course,
when you don't see them. But what I think what puts me apart from other people is that I don't get comfortable. I always go full out in rehearsals. I I'm not the one to be like, oh, let's just mark. I always go, even when I'm dying, because I know we have a show in a few days, and I need my stamina. I need to make sure when I'm on the stage, I'm not dying in the fucking fourth number. We have 18 more to go, whatever. I always go full out. I adapt. Well, I try my best to adapt quickly to different choreographers, different styles. I used to take a lot of different classes, like everything I could get my hands on, to really broaden my variety of skills and dance knowledge. But I think for me, the main thing is the hunger and the understanding of where it is I'm trying to go. And I keep saying this to, like, when I have conversations about industry and stuff. I think a lot of people in the industry are here to, like, oh, I just want to do that one X Factor job, and that's amazing, because you got to start out from somewhere. But for me, I'm at a point now where I'm just trying to build the biggest legacy I can build for myself. So when that one day I do retire, because I know you're the same, such a sports fan of basketball and NFL. So I compare, like me and Eve, we compare our tours to championship rings. So I'm trying to have more rings than Michael Jordan. You know, so I can't be lazy, or I can't not go to the gym, or I cannot eat healthy, or cannot do these things that an athlete does if I want to do the same thing. So if I want to book another 3, 4, 5 more tours, I have to make sure my body is in shape, my mind is right, and the hunger is there. Because if you're not having fun with it either, then you know, because it's a hard industry, you know.
Yeah.
We all know it's tough. Even when you're successful, it's still tough. So I think it's the hunger of, like, proving yourself every year. Because every year, young kids come up and they're fucking dope and they're killing class, yada yada. But there's so much they don't know about, you know, how to carry themselves on the job, or even how to carry themselves in class, outside of class, and that's what they're missing. But so when you have that knowledge and you still have the hunger, then you can also get inspired by seeing them young kids coming on and be like, okay, they're taking 3, 4 classes a day. I gotta get back to making sure I take, you know, a couple classes, you know, every now and again when I have a day off. Yeah.
The word that came to mind from what you were saying earlier is, like, legacy. What's your driving factor? You know, you said you want to be the equivalent of Michael Jordan in the dance world. What's that?
Oh yeah, I don't see myself as Michael Jordan, by the way.
No, but you know, you said you wanted to, like, to kind of work towards that level.
Towards, like I said, for me, like, booking a tour is a championship ring. So I'm trying to get more rings than Michael Jordan. But I think for me, because, like I said, I'm such a big sports fan, and I think it's so important we do this for a reason, and not just, you know, for Instagram post, or it's to inspire other people, or inspire the kids coming up. So when they take a class with you, they're like, oh, okay, this is how he carries himself, or you know, somebody's first job and they're working next to you, and they're like, okay, let me try and learn from this guy and see how he carries himself in rehearsal. He's been working for 10 years, but he's still asking questions. He's still going full out. He's still bringing water and meal preps for rehearsal. He still stretches and rolls out and warms up and all these things that some people don't do, and they've been doing it, you know, for less time. So I think it's about leaving the industry in good hands for the next generation as well.
Paving the way, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. Something like that.
Do you see a difference with the younger generation? Because obviously you're still working an awful lot, and I imagine you cross paths with the younger generation on jobs. Like, I don't, but you do a lot. Do you see a difference with them? Than maybe compared to your generation or the people above you when you started?
Yeah, I think some people can get very comfortable or familiar straight off the bat, where there is a pecking order within the industry, right? You know, you have your choreographers, and certain choreographers is very friendly, certain choreographers are not. And certain choreographers you really have to graft away to be able to, you know, get comfortable around them, or, you know. And the same with certain dancers. Certain dancers, you shouldn't just, if you're green off the bat, you should not approach certain dancers as if they're your homeboy or homegirl, because there is a certain respect you have to pay to certain people that's been doing this for 15, 20 years. And I think some dancers coming in can be either so blind, it might be the accessibility of Instagram or something like that makes them think, well, you know, you reposted my video of me taking your class, and now we're friends, so I booked my first job, and I just come, yeah, hey, hi, and, you know, have some respect, you know. And I think that's why some people might not have a long career of the younger generation, because they don't understand how to carry themselves outside of the classroom and inside the rehearsal space. I think that's one thing, is like how they carry themselves might be.
What do you feel is the negative effect of someone being as friendly, not as friendly, but as like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like
Familiar.
Yeah. What's the negative effect of a young dancer coming in to do that? I'm not saying it's right or wrong for it. I'm just playing.
Of course. Well, so it depends on who you're working with. So like I said, some choreographers love to be friendly. They want to be friends with every dancer and have that bond, which is amazing. Some choreographers want to come in, teach you your steps. You better go full out. And then the choreographer leaves.
Yeah.
They've done their job.
There's more of a disconnection.
You're hired as a dancer. You're not hired as a best friend, whatever. So if then you approach the wrong choreographer the wrong way, as in, I'm going to be familiar around this person. And they're like, why are you in my space? You ain't you're not being booked for the next job.
Yeah,
you might be like, well, why do come this person doesn't book me? And
it's funny though, isn't it? 'Cause I remember like when I first started working in the industry, I would see a lot of the dancers booking all the jobs, and you know, at the time, I thought I was the shit. I mean, I was good, I was talented, but I thought I was probably better than I was. And then, I remember being like on jobs and being like, say like the dancer that books all these jobs. There's the dancer that's always working. I always remember being like, yo, I'm better than them. Like they haven't even picked up the combo in rehearsals. Like they're not that good. They got no freestyle. Like they know nothing. And I'd be like, I'm way better than them. Like why are they booking all these jobs and I'm not? Like I would roast them if you taught me the combo. I'd roast them if we had to freestyle. And then it took me a while to figure out that like they're not there for that. Like they're there because they can do the job to a high enough standard that's gonna deliver. But they're also there because they are the choreographer's friend. And they make the choreographer's life more enjoyable or easy to work with for like 6 weeks. So it's quite hard, right? Because I came in looking to work for the choreographer that wanted the best dancer. You know what I mean? Which is what you're saying. But actually what I found out is, sometimes you have to be their friend and you have to go and socialize. You have to schmooze. You have to, obviously without being fake. But like they do want people that they're going to enjoy spending their time with. And for the first like 2 years, I was just like, yo, I just want to roast everyone. Like I still take class. Like I remember making a joke with my friends being like, we're called the professional class takers because we were the only professionals that took class. Like, do you know what I mean? Like that's how stupid we were because we thought that was like I'd still take class and I'm booking jobs. Like I'm
What's
the
up?
shit. Like little did I know, maybe I was a dick. But like
Still are.
little bit, still are sometimes. But like it's different, and I do think you're right. It's about learning who you're working with or who you're working for, and maybe understanding their energies. You know what I'm saying? Because
absolutely,
I was very much like, yo, I'm gonna roast everyone. Competitive.
But you know what? That is important because I'm that when it comes to crunch time. You know, when we're going full out,
that's why I always
full out.
But that's why I always like whenever I can like dance with someone or I want to shoot something, I'll always be like, yo, let's dance. Because I know that you're gonna push me. You know what I mean?
And that's the sick thing. So like having that approach to rehearsal or a job is so important because some people are not. They come in lazy as hell, and for some people like us who's driven, we want to be around people who want to be better. So in that way of sense of when it comes to the dancing part of it, absolutely go for roasting. But when it comes to just the socializing in rehearsals or socializing, networking, it's like the level that's like you don't have to be so to go get there where you want to.
Because I feel like I probably lost a lot of opportunities because I was being the professional. I was being the athlete. I was being I'm not going to go out for drinks afterwards with everyone. I'm going to go to the gym. And I'm going to get an early night and eat my vegetables. So tomorrow I come in A game. And the amount of times, like there's multiple times that's not worked in my favor and I felt like the outsider. Whereas in my brain, I'm being
what am I doing wrong?
I'm being the one. Like I've said it on here multiple times and I've probably said it to you, but I'll never forget like being in we were in Malta with Nicole and like she likes to socialize with the dancers, which is the dopest thing ever. But to me, I booked like my dream. I was like, yo, I'm a white ginger kid from Cardiff that's dancing with this hot, sexy artist.
Let's go.
Like I broke in my head, I broke the mold.
Yeah.
Like I can always book like cheesy shit.
Yeah.
For how I look, but I've booked the harder job
you want to book.
The job I want to book, which was really hard to book. So I was like, there is nothing that's going to make me like not stay on this job. I thought I was doing everything right. And little did I know it was the socializing aspect was what I lacked. Because I remember her in the morning being like, oh, hey, boring. Or like something like that. And it was a joke. Like she wasn't being horrible. It was playing because everyone stayed out. And I went to my room and went to bed. And then I was like, oh, she thinks I'm boring. Whereas in my brain, I'm like being prepared.
Yeah.
Like I'm being like, I'm showing up tomorrow 100%, whereas everyone else might show up 90. But they filled that 10% with social.
That's how you built.
That's how I built character.
Especially if you're traveling with an artist, you need to build some sort of
Build
bond
relationship.
because you're away a lot of time from your own family, your own friends. So you want to have sort of family community within your production.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's funny, isn't it? Like that's why I guess we call it the tour bubble when you make your
Yeah.
little family community. But I've become the unboring one when we went out in the sea, and everyone else was like, I don't want to jump in there, and I was like, watch me.
I'll do a flip
off the boat. Like she was like, oh. Ginger idiot, he's fun. Like this is his
Follow
bag.
again.
Yeah, yeah. So I feel like it's it's about finding that balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you had different experiences with different artists on jobs, like where some they want to be friendly and you want to have fun, and some where it's like you haven't got to name them, but like where you have to like you have to adapt your character, I guess, to fit the job description, because I feel like you can, but you can't always be the same you around everyone.
Actually, to be fair, I don't think so.
That's dope.
I've worked with a lot of artists, and you know how in some jobs you're 40 dancers, so you won't even have to. You don't even create a relationship with the artist. But in all the camps I've been in, either touring camps or like spot dates with an artist, I've always just been myself. Sometimes I try because I'm also introverted. So if I'm not comfortable with the people around me, I might not be as outgoing. So sometimes I try to, be a little bit extra outgoing when I know, I want to make sure the artist feels comfortable and not, who's this introverted guy just standing there? Obviously, that's not comfortable for nobody. So, but besides that, I think I'm pretty good at just being relaxed and being myself and doing my job and having a good time and laughing with my fellow dancers and stuff like that, and that's what the artist wants, isn't it?
I always use you as the description of like you're always, when I've been in the room with you, you're always the energy in the room. You're always the guy which comes in and was like, greatness, baby. AD, like you're always the
greatness, baby.
You're always the life of the party. You always make it fun. You know what I mean? And I've said that to you many times on and off air. Like like the energy that always like resonates with me is like that kind of vibe, and not the I'm tired today, bro. Like not this. And I've been that guy.
Yeah.
I'm this, like the downer. You're always the upper.
Yeah.
And do you feel like you're that in every room, or is that maybe just a room because like you're always comfortable with me and the environments we've been in together? Do you feel like you're always that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that do you choose to be that on purpose, or is it organic?
It's so if I'm working with a choreographer I'm not so used to, I'm not gonna be loud. Because if I'm not too sure how you like the room, if you like the room to just be quiet and professional, I don't want to be that loud guy in the back screaming all this stuff. But if I know who you are as a choreographer, and I know I can just bring, because I know when we go, let's go fucking fuck great, all this stuff, like everybody loves that. They love like, okay, let's go. People love this. So if you know that the room is built for that, then I'm always. But I think it's because I naturally come to rehearsal with energy, and I think I have so much because I'm just excited to dance. I'm excited to be there. I'm excited to have a good time. So I think I always just naturally bring that extra energy, and it rubs off on people. So then they go more full out, and then that makes me go more full out. So I think it's just an atmosphere you build around the energy you bring to the table. And like we're speaking about, when you drink your water, you eat healthy, you get a good sleep. You come to rehearsals at 10 a.m. and you have energy. I never show up tired unless it's been a fucking heat wave and you get 3 hours of sleep. But when you're on your normal pace, I have so much energy, and I love what I do. Like I said before with the hunger, I love to be there. So, yeah, man.
Was there anyone in specific that you looked up to, or that like was your like I'm gonna be like that guy?
What, in London? Or
just in general.
Oh, man,
like,
Nick Bass, bro.
That's why you like that compliment, isn't it?
Absolutely, bro. So obviously Marty and Nick, Misha, all them boys back in the day. I think for me, I think we can both agree on this, but I think Nick Bass is like the perfect male touring dancer. I think he just has the full package. He can do tap, he can do ballet, jazz. He's a strong hip hop dancer. He great physique. He's
killer jazz funk. There's a Janet in a crop top.
Yeah, man, boom crack.
Just
the dude, man. So obviously Nick Bass.
What do you call it? You call it a boom scat or a boom crack? He does Zazu.
Zazzle.
He does Zazzle.
Don't do Zazzle.
That'll be jazz funk.
Yes.
Zazzle.
No, you gotta do that jazz funk if you wanna book these jobs. No, so I've studied every video there is of Nick Bass on YouTube. I've taken his class only just once, which meant so much to me. But him, yeah,
Was it a
hands down.
good combo?
Oh yeah, it was his Usher, the one, the same song Anse did.
No idea.
You know the video Nick Bass did with Anse?
Oh, the car shot.
Yeah, exactly
Nice.
that combo.
The one where Alex Shondorf stands there.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the tour stance. And then,
Yes,
Nick,
sir.
this.
Nick, why are you here?
Nick, hi. Yeah.
Shout out Alex.
I'm well jealous that I wasn't Alex in that video.
You wanted
I'd
to
have
be.
been like this.
Put
Nick.
on a wig.
I'd have been,
Oh my God, Nick, don't touch me. Keep touching me.
Let me do this bit.
So yeah, obviously I've studied Nick Bass a lot, and I would say marvelous.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a beast, man. What I like about him is his longevity with Usher,
Yeah.
because he's been with Usher for 14 years.
Well, his longevity with Usher, but also his longevity with Ackerman.
Yeah,
Like, you know, like...
but just
So, like, anything
So
Ackerman does...
longevity within the industry.
within the
Yeah,
industry. But
because-
anything that Ackerman does, he has that relationship. And he
I
does
think
it.
I'm pretty sure Ackerman passed on choreo as well a bit now to Marv, which is fucking.
Yeah.
I just like stuff like that is what I.
Marv is dope, bro.
Bro, man.
And isn't it funny? Like, so they're like, do you know what? They'd both be in my top 10. Like, Nick Bass is in my
top 5.
Nick Bass is in my top 3. Marv's
Yeah.
definitely in my top 10. Like, as in, like, who I look up to.
Yeah, inspiration.
Yeah. But he's
Yeah.
for sure. Like, for me, he's one of the GOATs. But isn't it funny? Like, I bet if we went into, like, bass now and went into
it's the
almost
saddest
every
thing ever,
class
bro.
and said their names, no one would have a clue. And that kills my soul.
And that's again
Because
what,
people don't do, like,
the research.
their research or their homework, but I think that's because they can just go, oh, this person's got loads of followers on Instagram, and they don't really have an Instagram presence. Marv is on Instagram.
Yeah.
Nick Bass is never to be seen. I follow
He
the
did that
I
whole
follow
new-
the hashtag Nick Bass just so when someone posts like a combo he might have taught, I get to see it.
Oh my days.
I know.
It's the saddest thing.
Hashtag superfan.
Ever. Well,
He's Nick Bass. Call me Sea Bass. I'm in, but like. I'm a fisherman trying to catch
Idiot,
some
man.
bass. COVID. So, yeah, but it kills me that like most of the younger generation wouldn't know who they are, and I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, they helped paint and carve this industry for you.
like
Like
the reason we have work now.
and you know, lots of other people along with them.
Obviously, but I think, especially whenever I teach like, not normal open classes, but either master classes or anywhere where there's Q's and A's, I always say do your research. Because I feel like if we go way back enough to like the commercial industry, there's like 1 or 2 handfuls of choreographers who has that proteges, and that's like the group that's created what we have now. If you go back if you pick any pop artist within the past 30 years, whoever their creative team was, they still have somebody rivaled down who's still present now. So if you do your research, you will gain so much knowledge, and also that also then leads you into, well, I can now study this choreographer, and you know, if you do a good enough job, you will figure out how they are as a person. So if you ever book a job with them, you might know how to approach them in this rehearsal, and that will give you a,
Or even what kind of dancers they like.
exactly,
Or like what
There's so
kind of
much you
skill
can
sets
learn.
they like. Like we just did an audition. I say we, as in like us three. No, we as in the whole dance community probably did it. An audition for beep, can't say it because rules and regulations, but like with Chris Scott. Obviously, if you know about Chris Scott, you know he created the LXD, or he's part of creating the LXD.
Yeah.
You know that he's been part of the Step Up series. If you go and look at his homework, you know that he doesn't just like, not just a dancer, he loves dancers with specific skill sets.
Yeah.
And if you look through all of his performances, you can see that. You can see that he uses specialists to create visuals. It's not just like an all-round dance, 5 all-round dancers
Robots.
do the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's not his formula. So like, when you're looking at like what kind of jobs you want to do, are younger dancers like, are they still going and doing their homework on like, I want to do this specific job. Who's the choreographer? Oh, it's Chris Scott. What kind of dancers does he like? Oh, do I fit any of those brackets? But if it's my dream to work with him, maybe I need to find a way to fit one of the brackets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for me, it was like, I was like, at first I just wanted to be a working dancer, right? Probably the same as you. It was just like, I just want to work.
Yeah.
And then once you start working, or you get an insight of what working is, you start going, I want to work for those specific dancers. So like for me, it was like, say I'm like, I want to work for Marty Gadelka. You know, I want to work for Justin Timberlake. Then it's trickled from Justin Timberlake to, why do I want to work for Justin Timberlake? Oh, I love Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
It's my man crush. But I don't necessarily want to work for him, because if it was someone else choreographing him that I don't love the movement,
Right.
would I still care so much about if I did some whack-ass steps to like I love you, would I feel fulfilled? Probably not. I'd probably be heartbroken.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, even though it's the greatest song of all time to my greatest artist of all time, if the steps are whack, I'm probably not going to
Doesn't
enjoy
add
it.
up.
So
Yeah.
what do I want? Oh, I want to work for Marty. So what does Marty like? So then you train in those specific things to work in those genres of dance. Granted, I didn't work for Marty, but I worked for one of his proteges, for Ivan.
Yeah.
So like, you know, you fall into, like you said, the
Yeah.
trickle down effect. And to me, that's like, I didn't tick that box, but it's kind of ticking that box because I fell into
Same.
that camp of
Yeah.
people. And I think that's what you were saying about,
That's also a tough camp either way to get into.
bro, so hard. And for me, like, the dopest camp. But
Yeah.
hey, it's because I'm biased, right? You choose the camps that you love the most.
Exactly.
Do you think that dancers still do that? Do you think that they still do their research on the camps and stuff like that, like we did?
I don't think. I don't. You know what? I think like you said before with the Instagram followers. I think it's more like who's hot or who has the best video out or who has a hot artist right now, who made the newest TikTok song, or you know, stuff like that. Where I don't even have TikTok, so I don't really know what songs are trending over there. But obviously, you have people now like Sean Bankin who does Lil Nas X, and you know.
But then do people know where that trickled from?
Oh, exactly. So
Jaquel. Like, you know, like he used to assist Jaquel. Or at least on the jobs I did with Jaquel. He assisted.
Yeah.
Like they're that Atlanta camp. You know what I mean? Like there's two sides to the Atlanta camp. There's the Jaquel side and then there's the Ackerman side. Do
Yeah.
people know that? Like, I don't know. And maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong.
No,
like,
but
and-
I think you're completely right because I think we came up in a time, obviously, before Instagram. Well, we had YouTube, so all we could do was...
they teach at Studio 366 or something like that. Like
Yeah,
Bankhead used to teach
yeah,
there.
something like that. 411 or
Yeah, something like that. It's just numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Sorry.
probably area code or something.
Yeah.
But the only way we could... For me, living in Copenhagen, obviously, we had people come over from LA and America, whatever, and teach. And so now you learn from this new person, you go home and you research, and then another person pops up, so now you watch that person's video. So that's how and that's naturally just research, you know? And then I think now with Instagram, you can do the same thing, but I don't know if it's more of like for just social. I don't know if we research the work the same way as we used to do, you know, now.
Yeah. I think it's also given to you so much easier now because if you like, say you follow Anders Deeno, then you're probably going to get introduced to Eve, Tobias, like without having to look for it.
Yeah.
Whereas we had to look for it, right?
we
We'd be
had
like,
to-
okay, who are they training with? Who are they
Yeah.
teaching with? We had to search further. Whereas now they don't have to.
Long
It's just
nights
like
on YouTube.
given to you. Bro, so many. Like I'd be sat there like searching Tucker Barkley videos.
Oh,
like,
oh.
do you know what I mean?
And his
Like,
damn timps.
yeah, doing triple pirouettes. Like,
God damn, he posts like one video a year, man.
Yeah.
He needs to post some more. Post some more, Tugger. Please.
Tucker. So now at 29, almost old.
That's why I hit the gym, man. Gotta stay young.
Almost old.
Does that mean you are old then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I move like I'm young.
True.
But I'm fitter and faster than most 25-year-olds.
Absolutely. Hold it now, bro.
32.
Come on.
Come on now. So the coffee.
Sexy.
So the coffee. Keeps me energized. Lost my train of thought. At 29, almost old.
Yeah.
What's the goal? Like, I know you say to create longevity and to
Yeah.
get your rings, but like, with like what? Just that? Like any rings? Like, are there specific rings?
You know what?
It's a weird thing to say, isn't it?
No. Because I know what you mean.
Because it's like, it's not easy. I'm not saying that's easy, but are you just on the Anders bus and you're riding it and see where it takes you? Or are you trying to drive the Anders bus? Like, are you trying to direct where it's taking you now? Now you're a bit more established. You know, you're known in the industry. You're not new anymore. You're ahead. Like, you're one of the elders or one of the more
Even that
experienced.
is crazy to me still when people say this because I think and that's why 'cause I don't see myself as that guy. I don't see myself as an older dancer now. I still see myself as a young I still see myself as somebody who has to prove something.
Yeah.
And still has to be hungry to stay relevant and to stay established because I never felt comfortable. I've been like, oh yeah, I'm the shit now. So for me, I just still wanna. When it comes to like when you say with the rings, with the tours, I wanna still do the biggest and the baddest tours we got here, you know. And that's why I still want to keep pushing myself to be in a shape where I can handle how many months of work. But when it comes to like other work, because obviously tours come every now and again, it's I'm more picky now with what I say yes to. Just because if I say yes to this job, that might mean let's say I could ask for a job in 2 months, and if I say yes to this job now, just because oh my god it's a job. Then a month and a half from now, I might be asked for a longer job or more well-paid job or a better job that clashes. But because I was so, oh my God, it's a job, I have to say yes, then I lose out on that. So I'm more picky now with the jobs I choose to be on, because you also have to make sure that it fits within the career you want to build. Because if you just take any damn job, but you just got off tour with one of the biggest girl bands in the world, it doesn't really add up. You know, because are you desperate for money? Are you desperate for work? Or so it has to, you know, you have to also make sure you choose carefully the people you work with and for. And
what separates that job criteria for you for what you do and don't accept?
So, if a better job came along, would that first job still be a job I wanted to be on?
No, like what decides the criteria of like if that's a job you're going to take?
What's a better job for you?
So let's say you get offered a job.
Yeah.
And the money might be good, the choreographer might be good, the artist might be good, job might, whatever, the whole thing might be amazing. But if I then say to myself, okay, well, how would you feel if you were asked to do something else for this choreographer?
Right. So
would you still feel okay with doing this job? If the answer is yes, then I don't care.
That's your yes or no.
You know what I mean?
If you offered job X but job Y comes along and job X is obsolete to you.
Exactly.
Got you.
So
is that just like it's from what I feel from that is it's not a number or it's more of an emotional response to the job title or job offer than it is like a logical, not logical, but like a number or a statistic kind of based answer.
Yeah, because you might. Some jobs, like we've talked about this before as well, it's not always about the artist or the size of the artist's name. Right. Sometimes it might be the choreographer.
Okay.
Or the team who you're dancing with. So I might want to be like, I'm an amazing choreographer I love to work with, might ask me for this whatever job, or it's with two of my favorite dancers and we're away for 2 weeks together. Absolutely, yes.
Right.
I don't care whatever else job comes in because I know I'm going to have the best 2 weeks ever. And I don't care if, you know, unless obviously Usher calls, but the chances.
You don't have to call.
So it's like the whole experience is the job for you. So it's not like the title. It says so like it's more about like what the rehearsal would be like,
Absolutely.
what the stage would be like. Yeah, okay.
Because the show is...
The show's the show.
5% of the whole job, isn't it? It's the
it's the,
2 weeks of rehearsal is if you were around shit dancers, shit steps, shit music... And I don't care if...
And that's why I always say I fucking hate rehearsals. Like, because it's like so much time to like dwell on and maybe find the things I don't like. Like, I love the show. And rehearsals is always so long. And I'm always like, I fucking hate rehearsals. But then when it's been the right rehearsals, like doing like Jackson Guthrie, which is a nobody to most people, no one knows who he is. The most fun I've ever had. Because it was me and Patrick Chen, a drummer, Jackson, and Ivan Kamuev. We just had fun. Yeah. Like every day was fun. Every day was like workshopping. It was playing. It was trying to outdo each other. It was fun. Like.
So would you choose that job over, let's say, like the Justin Timberlake job?
Well.
And the dance
that's
group
is
a
dream
I know.
job. But if you call something, so say like Justin Timberlake is a 10. If I had to choose something between like a 5 and a 7. Do you know what I mean? Like level of like out of 10, 5 and 7.
Let's say the job you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Or Ariana Grande music video, but they need 40 male dancers.
Oh, the job I did.
You see what I'm saying? So Ariana Grande, bigger name, but 40 dancers. You want me to be one? Bro, I'm a top 4. So like, if it was Ariana Grande looking for 4 male dancers, obviously, but when it comes to like,
but also it depends, right? Because that could be your in. That could be your I'm in. Like if you believe in yourself, like so I'm at a place where it's like I know that if I'm good enough that I can get in a room of 40 dancers and I know I can if I
Be off her
knuckle
shoulder.
down, I can knuckle down and I can get that next gig. I can be
You can
pulled
get
back.
to the next 5 people.
That's
sort
true
of.
as well. So then
like,
it's
do you believe in your craft?
doing the groundwork.
But then
and
it's I know I have to go in and work my ass off, and I'm at a place in my life where I'm not always willing to do that for every job. But when it's a job that I'm dying for, like you better
And a
know,
dope
like
camp,
you better
yeah.
know I'm gonna go in.
Yeah.
Wrong mentality, because you should do that on every job, but it's the way it is.
Yeah, I mean,
I always look at it as like I have like 3 pillars, like the people, the pay, and the product. My 3 Ps.
Yeah.
So when you offer me a job, like I'm in a position now where I teach pretty much full time and I make really good money.
Yeah.
Like for a dancer, like I make a nice living, but I work every minute under the sun, as we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I was like, I make this much. He's like, go on. I was like, I work this many hours. He's like, oh. He went, oh, you work. I graft, but I love teaching.
Yeah.
Because I don't control the people. Well, I do control the people because I can control if I accept the job. I negotiate the pay,
yeah.
but I control the product.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I control the music, I control the steps, I control everything. So I'm in control of all the things that determine pretty much if I like taking a job.
Yeah.
That's why I love teaching. Whereas when it comes to taking dance jobs, like, are the people good? Like, is it going to be with my friends? Is it going to be with people I like? Am I going to have fun with these people? What's the pay like?
Yeah.
What's the product? Is it good steps?
Yeah.
Is we treated
So
well?
is it a big job?
Is it a big job? Is it like it has to fulfill?
Yeah.
So I'm looking to always fulfill 2 of those 3 things when I accept a job. If it doesn't fulfill 2 of those 3 things, I know it's not. I'm not going to enjoy it.
No.
You know what I mean? I could be doing something that I enjoy.
I also wouldn't take it over the certainty of teaching.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
guaranteed money, and
Yeah.
I know that I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I know that I love teaching.
Yeah.
There's something that I serve. Can't find words. I serve
A purpose.
a purpose, as opposed to just going in and doing some steps that I don't really care about for some okay money for
Yeah.
an okay choreographer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I look for 2 of the 3 Ps. Do you have anything that you do to decide those things? Because I imagine, like, I might be wrong, but I doubt it. You probably get asked your availability an awful lot. No
yeah.
pressure.
No, of course. But I think I'm the same, obviously, with all these 3 things. But I think I'm also in a place in my career now where I want to, like I said before, I want to keep achieving and keep building. So if I'm being offered a job that I haven't done before, an artist I haven't worked with before, or an award show or whatever I haven't done before, then I want to do that. Because I want to check off everything I can check off. You know, so it might be that, okay, well, I'm checking off this certain award show or this artist, but it might be, with people. Then fine, I'll take it because I still want to check off that thing. And it's a week of my life, great. You know? But like I said, it's still about the building and the achieving. And so for me, it's not, I know the money is there, the money is coming, the money, but it's more about the achieving all these things that when you were 18, 17, you would never thought would have happened. And still having that mindset of hunger or like thinking I've done nothing. If then I want to still achieve all these things, I think that's the best way to keep on staying relevant and keep on being excited about your work and your jobs, because you can always find things you haven't done before.
Are you the kind of guy that likes to do, like, do you need to do one thing once or one thing, or not a lot of things lots of times? Like, I like doing, I want to say I've done everything.
Yeah.
I don't need to do 20 movies.
Right.
Financially, that'd be fantastic.
Amazing.
But as far as like fun, maybe not as fun. Because as we know, movie life isn't as necessarily fun as tour life, right? Or like spot dates, it's more fun. But financially, movies is win. But I don't need to do 20.
Yeah.
Like, to fulfill me. Financially, I will take 20 all day. But, if I'm looking at my Ps, like, now I've done a movie, I'm like, okay, if I never get one again,
amazing.
like, that's cool because I fulfilled that.
Yeah.
Do I need to do a tour? I've done one. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? I'm like that guy that needs, I want to say that I've done everything. I don't need to have done everything lots of times. Because once you start saying like, okay, I'm going to be Little Mix backup dancer for the next 15 years, and I'm going to do every tour they do, that's fucking dope. And there's like so much credit and so much value to that to show how great you are as what you do as your job.
Yeah.
But then you've not experienced all the things you could have maybe experienced. You know what I mean? It's like pros and cons.
It's like a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because like you mentioned now, with following one artist for that long time, you're a part of their legacy and their history, which so many dancers will never get to experience because we don't really have that kind of artists.
No, not
anymore.
really in the UK.
And so many people jump in on a job, do 2 dates, and then they never come back for the artist.
Yeah.
So that's why I've loved working with Kylie. Why I've loved working with Little Mix is because when you're working with them, you're working with them for a long time, and you do these steps and this music, and you know you with this camp for such a long time. And I love that. So if you're on a good camp, I love like give me another 200 dates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've done a lot of different things. If I'm in a great camp, just leave me there. Let me stay with this camp for the next 5 years. You know, if you enjoy it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, not for the money, not for that, but just for like the enjoyment and the fulfillment. Hands down. Yeah.
What does a day in the life of Anders look like? Not in rehearsals.
Not in rehearsals. I wake up, and then when it depends. If my one day off between work, I need to sleep. So around 9, if it's a day off recovery day. If it's a normal day, around between 7 and 8. And then I go gym. Then I eat my breakfast, which is eggs, some gluten-free bread, because my girlfriend is gluten-free, so I'm gluten-free too now. And then...
He's conformed.
Well, on a day off, like if it's a day off, then I go gym, I have some good lunch at home, and then I'll have a drink from like early afternoon. I'll have a little whiskey, might choreograph at home, or might take a class, or I might go to the movies. That's nice.
So even your day off isn't a day off because you're still going to the gym. It's still a work day.
Yeah,
like most people count that as work. But like that's what I'm saying. Your mentality of why you're successful is like, and that's what like my days off my days off isn't a day off. It just probably means I'm not getting paid.
Exactly.
That's what a day off
paid
work.
Working towards yourself.
A day off for me means there's no income on that day, but I'm still making opportunities or progressing in some sort of way.
So making deposits in your bank.
Exactly.
I find like if I have like a day off, I'm less productive the next day. I find like it hinders me more.
Right. Could put you in a slump.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like laying in bed or lay on the couch for too long. For an hour, 2 hours, cool. Then we gotta do something.
But the older I've got, my days off has changed. Because like obviously now I've got a puppy, I've got a fiance.
Jeez.
Now I'm depositing.
Big man.
Now I'm depositing, dickhead. Now I'm depositing money in the bank. Not as maybe a dancer or Kane Silver as the artist or the teacher of the business.
Family.
I'm depositing in my family and in my girl and in my relationship.
Your life.
Because that's something else
that
I need to invest time in. And that's my biggest, like for me, that is my biggest weakness. Is like he says to me all the time, like, Georgia must hate you. Like, don't you? You literally
I actually apologize for...
Yeah, he voice notes me and says, tell Georgia I'm sorry for bothering you and I know you're spending time together. Like, because I'm always like, hustle, like graft. So that's my weakness. So like I'm on my days off, I'm depositing into that side of my life.
Life-work balance.
Yeah. But like you sound like on your day off, you do a bit of both. Like you go to the gym and you also deposit into having a whiskey with the wifey,
exactly.
Right?
If she's home,
Okay, so what does a work day look like? Like say you're doing a normal rehearsal.
Yeah. Wake up at like 6:30 and then sometimes I might roll out in the morning just for like 5 minutes just to get my legs warmed up. And then obviously we leave the house around 8:30 to get to rehearsals a little bit before 10. And then fucking hell, mate, we crack on till 6.
And what do you do after that?
Well, it depends on where the rehearsal is.
Well, let's say you're at like Dance Attic or some shit.
Okay, then I'll be home by like 7:15. We cook some dinner, have a little whiskey while we cook. Put on How I Met Your Mother. Have a shower, go to sleep by 10:30.
Nice.
Boom.
Early.
I should wake up at 6:30 again. Yeah. You need that sleep from fucking boom cracking for the...
Why'd you keep doing all these shit moves when you show choreography?
I'm limited here.
Everything you've done has been
not
a
about
move
being
from like
cool, man. It's about
a move from the early fucking 2010s. There you go.
There you go. Little arm wave.
Nice.
Is there like a secret routine you do which you think gives you mental edge? Like you said, like rolling out in the morning might not be part of someone's regular routine. Like, is there anything, a little secret sauce that you apply to your day?
Honestly, I think if you go to the gym and you have a proper gym session,
right,
and you stretch out afterwards, and you get your 4 liters of water in, and you read a nice book, not fiction, but like information, a book with some information about life or growth or success. It's very basic, but I think those kind of things over a long
whilst
time.
it sounds basic, it's hard to do that daily. Like to read daily, to consistency, for
you
sure.
have to love it.
Like I was going to go down the question line of like, do you do anything that feeds the mind? You feed the body, obviously, through nutrition and gym work. Is there like, we've now answered that question, like what sort of books or education input do you have?
Yeah, I love reading autobiographies. I love autobiographies because you can learn so much about other people's struggles.
That's the whole point of this podcast. This is a biography of Anders.
Facts.
It is. It's like learning. It's an audio biography, I guess, to a degree.
I like that. You should change the name to autobiographies.
No.
Yeah, fuck podcasts. It's watered down now, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Paved the way for something new.
Yeah, when I'm telling dick jokes next week, that'll make sense.
Gotta beep a lot of stuff out in this one.
It's out of, you said about autobiographies.
Sorry, bro.
Is there an influential character or someone that you've read or been influenced by that isn't in the dance world?
Oh, absolutely.
Like for me, one of mine's like Kevin Hart. Like if you,
I loved his one.
Like he's so inspiring.
Yeah.
So yeah, is there anyone that comes to mind for you?
Let me see. I'm just trying to go through my books. Rick Ross's book, mate.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Facts.
We'll talk about one after.
We'll do that one.
Hurricanes. I read both of them.
He's got 2?
Yeah. It's a Great Day to Bus Up or something like that, and Hurricanes. I saw him the other night in Brixton.
Is it? Did
Sick.
you go?
Oh. He played for like 40 minutes and he cut. Fam. But his books, because he explains the hustle from being 13 and selling, rocks on the street, so now being 40-something, being $200 million, like that growth is insane. So Rick Ross for sure.
Have you done the 50 Cent one?
Hustle harder, hustle smarter. So
smarter.
good.
No. So I was piping on about it for like 3 weeks.
I was getting a voice note every day going, we're doing
so
this,
I
we're
would
fucking
try
doing
and- I
this.
would
Like,
try
I'm
and-
so much.
I'd at least do a chapter a day, like when I could. Like when I was driving, I'd power through loads of them, right? And do 3 weeks. Probably took me a week, but like felt like 3 weeks because I was always driving. Always driving. So I was listening to it, and I'd get through like a chapter, and I'd stop listening, and I'd voice note him going, "Oh my god,
Just
like,
gassed.
you need to listen to this." Like, and I kept explaining to him why it was so good, and he was like, "Yeah," like because he's all about like fucking mindset or like growth mindset, and I'm like, 50 Cent, you don't think that, right? I'm like, just trust me, it's gonna change your perspective on everything you do.
It really did. Dude, it's such a good book.
Like game changer. Like even like it sounds like he says, what do you call me? Loud.
Annoying as fuck.
He always says you're loud, like, because I like flashy shit.
Yeah.
Like I like nice shoes.
Yeah.
I like loud stuff. I've got a nice car. I like materialistic things.
Yeah.
You're loud. I'm a materialistic girl in a materialistic
Madonna.
world. Let's go. And that's gonna be a meme, innit?
Thumbnail.
But so I'm always like like trying to justify why I like it. It's just because I like shit that I can afford now that once upon a time I really couldn't. So I think that's why I like it. And then 50 Cent starts saying why it's important kind of to be materialistic.
Yeah,
and I was like, yeah.
And then I listened to it.
I'm like, yes, twos. He listened to it. Next thing he's buying new trainers.
Hey, treat yourself, bro.
He's looking for a new car.
Yeah,
he's
I understood
looking
it.
for buying new clothes. He's like, I get it.
Because you want to be the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
But it's
and
also how people perceive it. And
you.
the story that he said, it was, go on.
He pulls.
Go on,
So
you say it.
imagine you're in a. Obviously, I'm changing the words. He says this much better. But imagine like you're in a. No offense if someone's got a Fiat Punto. Imagine you're in an orange Fiat Punto.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter.
say that one.
You can. It's our podcast. You're in an orange Fiat Punto and you pull up and a guy in a Ferrari pulls up next to you.
Yeah.
And you see that he's left his petrol cap open, and you're going, "Yo, bro, lower your window. Lower your window." That guy in the Ferrari is probably like, "What the fuck does this guy want to talk to me for? Like, why is he shouting at me?" Like, but if you were in a Lamborghini. And you went, yo, guy, lower your window. The guy in the Ferrari would be like, huh, he's like me, huh. And he'd take you seriously because he sees that he perceives you differently. And that's the whole point of it. So when he's going into like business meetings, 50 Cent, when he's going into like executive meetings, he wears the flyest suits, the best, even though he's a thug, from the hood who would normally wear like
streets.
tracksuits and like a do-rag. He goes in looking as fly as possible, even though that's not who he really is. That's who he needs to be
You're
perceived
wearing
as.
a specific hat you need to wear for that moment.
Yeah. So like, and like, so his book, like, it just changed my mind on like so much shit, or changed my mind on some shit, but also told me that I'm
Confirm some stuff for you as well.
confirmed some stuff of why maybe my brain perceives things
Yeah.
in certain ways. Like, check it out, dope book.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, it's sick.
Hustle harder, hustle smarter.
Yeah. Good memory.
And if you audiobook it,
yeah, because he narrates it
he
as well.
narrates it, so it's even
Ooh.
better because it's his voice and like he adds on stuff instead of you reading it.
Yeah.
Like how he says things gives like says things with like a specific way, and you're like, oh, this is dope.
Oh, gives you the chills.
Yeah.
Check
That's
out,
dope.
check it out for sure then.
And then I might have told you before, Aubrey Marcus, A Day in the Life, I think it's called. He's the
No.
guy which owns On It. So
On
On
It?
It, like the fitness nutrition company, does everything fitness. So him and Joe Rogan are co-owners. Of
Okay.
On It.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they do the pills, don't they, to smarten you up, not smarten
Yeah,
you, make
Alpha
more of it.
Brain.
Yeah,
It's like a unpaid advert. Get Alpha Brain. But he has a book called Own the Day, Own Your Life.
Yeah.
Bro, sick, so good.
Oh, I'll write this stuff
It starts
down.
with the easiest thing, was like, what's the first thing you do in the morning? So like mine, like as long as my girl's not home, mine is I get up and I make the bed. So
Small win.
already I've had a small win.
Yeah.
Like, and then that'll carry over until you like having wins. Because for me, there's nothing worse than coming back in my room at like 12 o'clock and I go, fuck, I've got to make the bed.
That's what it's about. It's about checking every day.
Okay, so let's go on that idea of like discipline. When you fall out of routine or fall out of your kind of motivated headspace, what is something that you do to bring yourself back in there? And you can't say the gym because you said the gym already.
Okay. So I think motivation comes and goes. You know, we can't be motivated all the time, but discipline stays.
That's what I said like 2 episodes ago.
You
Yeah.
know, you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So discipline will always stay. So I think if you're driven, you have a reason to do the stuff you're doing, then you never fall off for more than a day. Because you have a reason why you're doing these things. You have a reason why you're working hard, because you want to achieve something greater. So the discipline in you will never allow you to fall off for more than 24 hours.
Right. And do you never slip for more than 24 hours?
Hell no.
Right.
No. If even let's say if I'm
And when you're close, sorry, I just interrupted.
Yeah,
but
of
when
course.
you're close to slipping for more than 24 hours, what is that get back into gear? What's that like internal message or external influence that gets you back into that headspace?
So let me because I never slip. That sounds weird, but the only time I'm in that kind of position is if I've been out.
Okay.
So if I've been out and you know you come home at 4 a.m. and you wake up the next day and that day is a write-off because you're done. Then by the time I go to bed that night, I'm like, fam, I'm waking up and I'm smashing the gym, or I'm gonna take a class tomorrow, or I'm gonna to get back. You
Right.
know. But that's the only times I ever fall off is if I go out.
So what got you into that non-slippery place?
I
Great
think-
word and choice, but you know,
You know
because
what-
it doesn't happen instantly, does it? Like you can't just go, right, I'm going to be motivated for the rest of my life. Wow, this might be different for you, but for me personally, and again, this might be different for you, it took a few years for me to get to that strong headspace.
Yeah. I think like I said, you grow all the time. You always, and you gain information, and you might start following certain people on Instagram that preach what they're about, they practice what they preach. And you're like, yo, I want to be like that. I want to be a guy you can count on, you know, somebody who says what they do and they do what they say, and you can't practice what you preach and not be about it. And when you also realize that, especially as a dancer, you get only such a long career, I wouldn't want to fuck off half of my career by slacking off and not taking care of my body and not.
Right.
So the more I take care of myself, the longer career I can have and the more dreams I can achieve. So why wouldn't I every day be disciplined? Because that means I have a better chance at achieving booking more tours, getting more rings, which is essentially what I really want to do.
Right.
You know? So
How many rings do you have that you want to get? Like, what's your number?
so
You have 5?
I got 5 now.
Yeah, how many do you want?
Oh, bro.
Yeah,
as
but like-
many as I can get.
Okay, yeah, but as many
Well,
as you
so
can
I-
get, but like, okay, so if it stops now,
Yeah, fine. I'm happy.
yeah, okay, but
Happy.
what's the number? Like, you got to give me a number.
So I would like to go for 10. Like to go for 10.
Light work, bro, you got this.
But I'll settle for 8.
We don't sell, bro.
No, but you know what I mean. Because, like I said, like whenever I'm on a job, and I'm around OGs, you know, I always ask them, how many tours you done? And they give me some insane number.
Do you know
like
Mark
12.
Webb?
Yeah, he done like 41 or something.
26 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
It's like the 26 tours. You're like,
Bro, how?
how long we like
the fuck?
like this isn't me being a dick. I want to be like, how long were the tours? Like a week? Like how have you done
How
so
long
many?
is like an average tour then?
A few months, like between, obviously, but it depends on the size of it. But
And is that
between,
from first rehearsal to last show, or is
yeah,
that
so
just
like
show?
first rehearsal, last show is between, the ones I've done is between 2 and 5 months.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he was cracking out multiple tours in a year.
This is when there was no like social media and shit. So like touring was the thing. Like
Yeah.
every
And less
artist toured
dancers
and
as well.
less dancers.
But what I was saying was that whenever I'm on a job and I'm around OGs, I always ask them, like, what's your tour number? And they give me like 12, 14, 17. I'm like, yo, how the fuck? But back then, first of all, every year was the X Factor tour.
Yes.
That's not no more. So if you had a good thing going in that camp, then every year you got at least one tour coming in.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, if there's just one artist tour, then in the space of 3-4 years, you can bang out 6-7 tours. Where now we don't have the X Factor tour isn't happening, so that can't really be a thing.
Yeah. And tours aren't as big as they used to be.
And
as
we
in-
don't have that many artists right
Yeah.
now. That's like pop artists that's doing big productions. So
It's harder to
that's
achieve.
why
for
longevity is
sure.
important if you want to bang out some more tours, because the next one might not come to fucking.
If there's less tours, then where's the dance focus move to? Like, what's the
As-
replacement of tours?
As
Well,
in,
there's-
in Korea, or just as what dancers trying to achieve? Because I feel like now dancers' goal isn't necessarily to book tours; it's to
No.
become like TikTok stars or Instagram artists or class video hoes. Didn't mean to say hoes. Sorry, it was aggressive. It was just the next thing that flew out of my mouth. But I feel like that's what people aspire to achieve to now, is to build a following. So now I feel like dancers want to be the artist. They want a big following, so you're the artist. Then it's
Right.
about you. It's not about working for the artist. Anders doesn't care if people how many follow. I'm assuming he doesn't care how many followers he's got. He'd rather tour with all these artists than have a big following. Whereas
Facts.
most, I believe, younger dancers would much rather have 1 million followers than tour with 10 artists.
right.
What would you rather?
Oh, come on now.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
just, but it's different, right?
Well, that shit actually goes hand in hand, because the more tours you do, the more followers you get.
And the
Because
more-
all
but
the
the more-
fucking fans will then follow you.
but also, the more followers you get, as long as you're good to a high enough standard, the more likely you are to book more jobs. Because
Yeah.
now that is a part of the.
I was gonna
the
say,
criteria.
So important. It's like your online CV.
Yeah, yeah.
Instagram.
Well, it's a currency now.
Yeah.
Like actually, Instagram following is currency. It's a new currency, because they'll be like, okay, how many you got?
It's validation that you're
You've
good.
got 10,000 followers. How many have you got? You've got like 2 million, and you can both do the job. We're taking you. That's free advertisement.
Yeah.
Like,
do you
Obviously.
think dancers focus on that too much, so that they're using that as a measurement of skill?
I don't
Like,
know.
dancers are working harder at getting followers. Our dancers are working harder at getting followers than they are about
But it's definitely-
creating their
definitely-
craft.
But it is definitely a skill, and it's definitely a craft. I think it's just a different one. Like, what's that guy in LA? It's Salvik. It's like a good-looking guy, shredded, got hair. He always does stuff with Twitch. He does all these like popping shirtless videos on Hollywood Boulevard. Like,
With the tie-dyes.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like, I've never seen him dance for an artist.
Right.
But yo, like, he's been on the Ellen Show as himself.
Yeah.
Right.
He is
That's
the
amazing,
artist.
man.
He's got like 1 million something followers. He creates content videos that it looks like every fucking day, because there's always a shirtless one of him popping, like, or doing something on, like, it always looks dope.
Yeah.
Like,
Quality.
it might not even be like, to us as dancers, we're not like mind blown by it, because
No.
we see this all the time. But the audience that he's maybe trying to engage,
Yeah. Everyday
like,
people.
that is he is the artist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The same
yeah.
way Kylie Minogue isn't trying to impress all the singers, she's trying to impress all of her fans.
Yeah.
He's
But that's
making
the-
his
that's
own
the
fan
thing
base.
with-
So it's just I think it's different.
Well, because it depends on how you are as a dancer. Because if you're not a class dancer, if you're not here to, learn all these aids, if you like, no, I do my own thing, I move my own certain way, then obviously it's more difficult for you to be booked next to an opposite, because you're tough to have a clean. But then if you know how to make your own stuff and make your own videos, then, like you said, you're your own star. But that's done in the sick way,
Yeah.
because then you actually have a reason to blow up, because you're talented and you care about your craft. But it's not about, because not all dancing is about dancing about an artist, but that's just what we were brought up on.
Because that's all we knew.
Yeah.
Because that was the pinnacle of dance at the time.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's shifted, right?
Yeah. But to answer your question before, I think since COVID, a lot of stuff is now TV.
Right.
TV and film, because people stay at home to watch stuff now, isn't it? So they need way more TV programs. They have so many TV programs with dance now, and so many movies with Then he had
A million
1,000
dancers,
dancers. So that's amazing work, you know. But
And more work. 'Cause
Yeah,
more
it's
dancers are
amazing.
employed. Yeah, it's dope.
feed the industry.
So now, where you're at in your life, is there anything that it can be career-wise or like personal lifestyle, whatever, that you're struggling with or that you're trying to work on? Like, because you said you're always evolving and you're always trying to be better.
Yeah.
So where are you trying to evolve? Like, what are you maybe working on? What things do you feel like that might be a weakness that you need to pull up on?
That's a good question.
Because that just brings self-awareness, and I believe that's probably why you've had such a great career, because you're probably very
you, bro.
self-aware.
Yeah. Well, as much as I love this industry and love being a part of it, I also wanna. Because I can't do something unless I'm 100% passionate about it. So I've tried doing like small projects or something, and if I don't love it, if it doesn't give me like I just can't touch it. So
Fuck yes or no.
Exactly. Yeah. So I would love to have some, like you have the ins and outs.
It's my baby.
That's your baby. I want to find something outside of the industry that can give me the same sort of fulfillment and make me money. So I'm not just relying on that. Because like you say, I'm 29. I'm getting that way. For me, I still have another decade to go. But
Come on now.
bro, come on now. But I'm fucking Sean Nas, bro. He's
That's the
40 next
response.
month.
Come on now.
This
Come on
month.
now.
Sean is turning 40, bro.
I know.
Like he's still killing it. So, but I would like to find something that I can start nourishing, you know, and build up.
Plant the seed.
Yeah, man.
Is there a hint of that in your life? Like, do you have any clue?
But that's the thing, because I love fitness so much. But that would mean that my second hobby I've turned into my career, and I don't know if that's a good idea. Because then I have no hobby left.
I think you'd find a new hobby.
Something always replaces it, I think.
Maybe. Yeah.
I think you'd find a new hobby. But I feel you. I used to, as you know, I was a gym
Yes, sir.
bitch, and I love fitness so much. I had to really think about if I wanted to make that like my next career choice, because it was still such. Obviously, it doesn't need to be. You don't need to be super physical. But the whole reason I love it is because I love the physicality of it.
Yeah.
So do I want to do something that's gonna take more toll on my body and more joints?
Right.
Like, because when I see people teaching all these fitness classes, and I don't really agree with fitness classes. I think you should just exercise to suit individuals and not teach classes. But a good way of making money is to do like boot camp classes.
Yeah.
And that. So like I see friends who teach like cardio boot camp classes, and they're doing like 5 a day, and I'm like, yo, your body is fucked. Like the miles you're putting on it, like for such little like reward is crazy. Not only is it not great exercise for the normal person, but like it's not good for you, because you're slowly destroying your metabolism and all these other things, unless you know how to do it really properly. But it's like another sport. It's
Yeah.
another thing which
Just
can only
full
do
out.
it's another thing that we're only going to be able to do for a certain amount of time.
What would you said obviously fitness, what would you want to do in fitness that could be a passion project that leads to income?
Well, you know what? I would like to help dancers get in shape. If I go down that road, that's like a thought I play, because I love teaching. I want to get into choreographing more as well, like, you know, over the next few years and stuff. But because I think there's so many dancers who come up to me and be like, yo, yeah, I want to be on stage with you. I want to do this, that, and the other. I want to be on tour. But do you work out? No.
Right.
But how do you expect to handle a 40-show tour if you're not in shape for that? You know, you might be able to kill an hour and a half class, but we have 8 hours of rehearsal for 5 weeks straight, mate. You have to be in some sort of shape, and we have to be topless. So what's up? So I love to help. I love to pass on information, but I think so many dancers don't really know what to do when they go into the gym.
Right.
Like what to do to get in that shape. They need to.
Which is dumb though, because there's more information than ever.
Yeah, but again,
You know, like-
it's the whole research thing, isn't it?
The problem is with the fitness industry, and someone who's worked in it for the last 5-6 years, is it's saturated to fuck, and it's so hard to distinguish good information to bad information if you're not incredibly clued up about it.
Yeah, because they all counteract each other.
Because they all counteract each other, and there's so much money pumped into both sides of every story.
Yeah.
That even if the information is quality and backed by science, you'll still never know what direction to take.
Yeah.
So even though there is lots of information, it's too much information at the moment. So I can and empathise why it's hard for a dancer to know what direction to take in a gym.
And also, you can't, as a dancer, you can't follow a bodybuilder's regime.
No. And that's the biggest
you
mistake
will
people make.
and you can't dance, so you have to figure out some sort of, hit program or whatever to get in shape, get ripped, but still be functional.
Athletic.
Athletic, yeah.
Well, you need to be training like an athlete.
Exactly.
Like,
but so many dancers don't like.
And again, training like an athlete is
themselves.
actually very difficult. Like,
yeah, and it's not the same as lifting weights to get bigger biceps.
Yeah.
It's not the same conversation.
no, and that's a much harder category of, like, again, even if out of gym goers, if you go to 99% of people in the gym and said, how do you train like an athlete? Hardly any of them will actually know the answer to that.
Probably just say run.
A lot of PTs don't even know the answer to how to train an athlete.
Yeah.
It depends on what kind of athlete you are.
But like, if you went to a lot of PTs, and I'm kind of putting myself aside here, most of them wouldn't know how to train a dancer, I don't think.
No, absolutely.
Work them legs, make them explosive, be jumping.
So a strength and conditioning coach in the dance world.
That might happen one day. We'll see. We'll see.
Nice, man.
I always believe that the universe will guide you in the right direction. And that's what I've learned in my 29 years now, is that the universe will always put you on the right path. So I believe that when the day is coming that I'm supposed to start taking different steps, there will be some sort of sign, of like, this is where the next fulfillment is going to come from.
Yeah.
You know?
Another question.
Oh my God, how many questions?
Sorry, bro.
Why is this a podcast?
Yeah.
No, it's an audio
Q&A.
No, it's an audio
autobiography. Get it right, man.
So in your posh fancy bag that you've got,
okay,
you told me you got some crystals.
Got some crystals in there.
Like, what kind of crystals? What and why?
I don't even know.
Meth.
That's what I'm like. What kind of crystals, bro?
No, man. Let's see.
First of all, flex the bag.
Flex the bag.
The bag.
Kill him.
I've had this for 2 years, so I'm sure everybody who knows me has already seen it 1,000 times.
It's cute, man.
See, I got 2 crystals in here. I have no idea what they are. I think I picked them up somewhere overseas. I think I bought this some in Bulgaria. I don't know about this one, but yeah. Now I have to rinse them because now you've touched them with your energy. You can't let people touch your crystals.
Can you not? Is that a thing?
My girl told me. Yeah. So basically,
sorry, girl.
they're now connected to my energy.
Right.
So then if you touch them, then I have to cleanse them. So your energy. Let's say you're a very negative person.
Yeah, but I've given you nothing.
But you're
but
my fucking brother.
I've given you nothing but love for an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, is that how long?
Yeah, bro.
Well, hour and 10. Because
If you watch this whole thing,
if you didn't.
yeah, but it's just like, it's just nice, it's pretty, and it's, just have a little bit of like love in your bag.
Are you quite a spiritual person?
Yes, I would say so. I'm not a really like, I believe in God, I believe in aliens, I believe in everything you can believe in, because I think that's the right way to go about it. Because we don't know.
Because we don't know.
So I believe that we all come from somewhere bigger. There is some sort of energy that makes this whole clock run, and that we're just a small spectrum, a small thing in this whole whatever it's called spectrum. It's a big word I'm saying right now, but I think having that, thinking like that makes life easier.
Yeah. Because
none of this really matters. So when I'm gone is cool. But at the same time, you also know that somebody's guiding you through your life. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Come on.
What would I feel this is quite a spiritual question. What would your 50-year-old self say to you now?
20 rings? You only got 20 rings?
Pull the fuck up, man. Pull the fuck up.
My 50-year-old self. How many podcasts have you done for Kane, bro? You gotta stop doing these. My 50-year-old self would say, well done. Absolutely
Nice.
well done. Because that's how I'm feeling about
the 29-year-old you.
About from where I came from at 16, 17 to now. It's like, wow. I chose to do something that's so different compared to where like the people around me and my family, and such a strange industry. And I've made a living, and I've built a life in a different country. I met a beautiful woman. So
shout out, beautiful woman.
Yes, Sirskis. So I always just say, well done, man. And just 50-year-old me. He better be in shape.
He will.
He better be ripped as hell.
I'm all about body positivity.
Body positivity?
Body positivity to a degree. I think you should be positive that it's your body.
Can we get a new host, please?
No. My show.
Not for long.
Cancelled. It's okay. We were away, and there was just so many like older dudes like that was so out of shape and unfit, and I don't mean like physically how they look,
No,
but physically how they performed. And I'm not saying they need to be able to like do a 200 like kg deadlift and do a hurdle jump, but like just no mobility, like out of breath walking up a hill. And I just turned to G and I was like, I promise you I will never be that guy. Like,
hell no.
To me it's not like, and this isn't like a negative of what you look like, but I'm like, yo, you're making your life so hard for yourself.
Yeah.
You're making life so difficult because you're choosing not to do something. Like, you could train 20 minutes a day. You don't even need to leave the house. You could just do some push-ups.
Obviously, some
squats.
people might not be able to. We
Yeah,
don't
of
never
course,
know, but
of
the
course.
majority is the laziness.
You need to remove physical ability.
Yeah.
Like, if they're like, you know, they don't have the ability to do stuff out. But when it's a choice not to do
Because
stuff.
you have this one life. So
Yeah.
that's why it's like, because obviously, let's say these are 60-year-old men who's retired, they're happy, they're living a great life. So you got to enjoy your life you worked hard for. But at the same time, you also want to make sure this body runs smoothly for as long as possible.
So
And then
you
you can
can-
play with your grandkids. You can run up the hill with your grandkids. You can, you know what I mean?
I'm with you.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
think,
man.
like, my feeling on this is you choose what hard you go through. And so the idea of going to a gym every day and being disciplined, that's quite a hard concept of life. But it's even harder to not. And I think that's where we falter. Is we don't
Later
have,
on, it's harder
well,
to not.
just as general, like, even at our age, you know, I know loads of people who are unfit and unstrong and who have a much less quality of life to us.
For sure.
So I think people don't identify that they're choosing a very different type of hard, which
Yeah.
actually works out harder in the end.
Earlier on, you said about like you think there's something, you know, bigger than us and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I had that feeling. Not that there's something bigger than us, but just how like small we are. And you might have had it because you've experienced the same thing as when I did a skydive.
Woo! When did you do that?
This time last year, around maybe like last November. It was we
I'm
did a
not your fucking
podcast.
PA, mate.
No, because we did a podcast.
Let me see the
after.
schedule.
We did a podcast about it, and we just started. So like,
Do you want to check your emails, Tyler?
Yes, please. Like last October.
Okay.
Like I think.
bro.
I felt like it was more summertime, but anyway.
See, that's why I asked you. See, I don't know. And then I feel like it was this. You corrected me. Good job. Then I jumped out, and I remember, like, in that moment of, like, however long it lasts, like a minute and a half, of thinking how pathetic things can be. And, like, I was, like, looking at, like, this tiny little bus going past this tiny little COVID vaccination center. And then there was, like, a big, huge
Slip that one
empty...
in.
No, and there was all these little things, and then a big, huge empty field. And even that big, huge empty field looked so small. Like, that we were about to fall in. And I remember being like, yo, what is life? Like,
Yeah,
it was
bro.
so in the moment and so euphoric. And I was just like... and as amazing as it was, and I was like having this adrenaline rush, all I was thinking was we take shit way too seriously. Like, shit doesn't have to be this deep.
No.
Like, we just need to have fun and
Yeah.
do more things that we enjoy.
We all gotta
And,
go,
like,
man.
Bro, and I was it was the most amazing feeling I've ever had. And I was speaking this 2 days ago, me and Georgia went to a spa, and I was talking about that feeling it gave me. And I was like, I've had the most amazing dance life. And I've had so many adrenaline rushes, like on big, huge stages where I'm nervous and it's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that adrenaline. And I went, and none of them compared to jumping out of a plane. That's how like powerful and euphoric it was for me. And maybe it's because dancing on stages became normal. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe jumping out of a plane one day would feel normal if you did as many shows.
Yeah.
You know, jumps as you did shows. But like, I remember literally being so in the moment and being like, what the fuck? Like, did that have any impact on you?
Well, I did it, 3 years ago in Brisbane. And I remember all the way, you know, to have this little flight going all the way around and around to come all the way up in the right height. And I was having the best. I was not nervous one bit. I was enjoying the view. Okay, wow.
It doesn't feel real, right?
Yeah, no, I'm just on the plane. And then I was the first one. And my guy's like, yeah, all right, time to come sit down on the floor. He rolls up the door. Bro, I was like this. Fam, sitting next to an open door in an airplane.
Bro.
Like I said, the whole way up, I was chilling. As soon as they opened that damn fucking squeaky plastic door, I said, fam, this is wild. And he put the thing on me or whatever.
Hang you over the edge?
And it said, all right. So I had to put my feet out first.
Yeah.
And then it said, look up. Bro, that first drop, like the first 5 seconds, Bro, you can't even. It's insane. No, but it's the feeling in your body of like, yo, where the fuck am I going? But I think for them, the drop was just, I just enjoyed the view.
Yeah.
And my ears was popping. I was like, mate, is this normal? Yeah. Okay.
Hold your nose.
But yeah, those first 5 seconds was worth the whole damn thing because of that, like I said, euphoric feeling of just falling out of a fucking airplane.
I was last out of the plane.
I just saw all these motherfuckers dropping to the floor.
I saw these motherfuckers just going,
bah!
yeah. But then the one before me was my mum.
Oh, bless her.
So my mum sat on the end, and I just saw, I just saw her get sucked out, and I don't know, like there's something there's something about just seeing my mum go out of an airplane window where I was like,
your protective instincts must have been flaring up.
It was like my spidey signals went off.
Yeah.
You know, you just like tickle, bye, like you
Deuces.
just, like. What the fuck? She just got sucked out of a plane window, and then I remember
obviously.
and then I got to the end, and I look, and I can't see her. I was like, "Where's she gone?" And then twos, you're out. Like my brain is not thinking about her whatsoever. Crazy experience.
It's crazy. You should try that, mate, if you haven't.
Yeah, I really want to. It's been
I said
on my
I'll
list
do
for
it again
years.
tomorrow. Like best thing ever.
Well, let's go
I won't
book
do it
one.
again because I was so concerned about my ears the whole way down. Because I have bad ears.
I won't be able to hear the music on stage.
Guys, what's my 7/8? Count me in.
I can't hear that in the music. Bro, this has been a pleasure.
It's been a really good
alright.
episode.
It's been amazing. I loved it.
Normally ask dancers a question, but I feel like I've done it with you and I know the answer, but we'll do it just in case people haven't listened. If aliens came from outer space and said,
Yo, Anders, give me one dancer that's gonna save planet Earth, and if they're whack, you all die.
what dancer would you give them?
Me.
Let's.
What are you talking about, bro?
So you would be like, if
I
you were
would
to
dance for
vouch-
humanity, yes.
If you're gonna vouch on any dancer in the world to save humanity, you'd bet on yourself.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't I? Bet on yourself.
Okay.
Bet on yourself.
I've got a
always.
question for you.
Yes.
If you heard a bunch of people talking about you in a different room and they said, Anders is really good at insert a word,
Yeah.
what's the first thing that comes to your mind? And what's yours as well? Think about what you would think about him.
For
What,
him,
It doesn't have to be that, it can be anything.
Okay.
It could be cooking a barbecue.
Fuck, I don't even know.
Don't you say
know.
yours? Shut up.
Being a friend.
Okay. I love
I'd
that.
go with that.
What would you say about?
mine would be just a great human.
Nice.
Nice.
I always think like if the two are very synced from what someone else thinks about you to what you're in sync of, I think that's a good correlation.
Being a great friend, yeah, for sure. But I think you'd be great to that person out there.
Oh,
They're not your friend. So that's why I say human, because like
Very polite.
if there was
yeah.
someone struggling, you'd be the guy to offer them help carrying up the
Oh,
stairs.
always. Yeah.
Just a great person.
Dope.
But don't spill his drink. That's all I'm saying.
Huh?
Don't spill his drink.
That's the story for another time.
He doesn't like he
No,
gets
no.
angry when you spill his drink.
Don't touch my whiskey, mate.
Right, guys, it's a wrap. So,
amazing.
thanks for tuning in all this way. If you did, follow me at Mr. Bull Change. Follow Jake at Gibson _media_ and Anders at
Anders Deeno.
and at the Ins and Out podcast. Make sure you subscribe on Apple, iTunes, and YouTube. Share the podcast with your friends and family. Peace out, one love. Bye.
Yes, sir, skis.
Bitches, do you wanna fade us out?
How?
I don't know. Do something to make a fade.
What? Towards the thing?
Yeah,
Speaking
Just go
of
there.
fate.
Yeah,
What,
like make
like
it.
this?